Vikash, you have shifted from electrical engineering to public administration.
Sir.
From social sciences to that of from a pure mechanical electrical engineering background, social sciences.
Sir.
How was this transition?
Sir.
What have been your observations with respect to this transition?
Sir, it changed my attitude a lot.
What was that?
Sir, when I was an engineer, I'm a typical engineer, my attitude was typically binary. There are only two things, good or bad. There is no gray areas. When I started studying social sciences, I realized there is nothing binary. In fact, everything is gray. It is not about the concept, it is about the degree, the extent of white and extent of things being black.
Okay. Will you go on to say that studying social sciences goes on to make a much better human being out of you?
Yes.
Will go on to say this?
Yes.
Okay, what were the changes that went to take place in you as you went on to go through this transition in your attitude? You talk about that you went for an attitudinal change. So what have been the changes?
So, first of all, I'll talk about my personality. I became a lot more accommodative.
Okay. Second?
So that was the first thing. Second, I would say accommodative. I also I lost a lot of arrogance as well.
Okay, that's right. That's right. That means you used to be judgmental.
Judgmental.
And now you went on to accommodate the viewpoint of the whole number.
I won't be blunt anymore like I used to be 7-8 years back.
That's a very honest confession. That's a very honest confession. And the third one is that in there.
So that is one thing. I used to believe that scientific rational approach, it is meant only for natural sciences or for physical sciences. But now I think that even social phenomena, they can be studied from a scientific rational approach.
Okay, I go to give you one statement, right? Let me know. And go on to give us something to know on that topic.
So,
Logic can go on to help you win over a situation, not over a person. Right? Give us a speech on the topic for 5 minutes. Listen to it first. Logic can go on to help you win over a situation, not over a person.
Being logical is one part of a person. A person could be well beyond being logical. You could be rational, irrational, you could be emotional. So if you are going only by the logical approach, you have a chance of winning over the person, but it doesn't guarantee that you will win over them.
When you go to become logical, can you go to win over the person?
There could be a chance. There could be a chance, and I could win over the person. If the next person is also 100% rational logical, I'm also 100% rational logical, then I can win over the next person. But that's a thing.
Is it that people are always logical, and is it that everything can be done with the help of logic? I go on to give you an example. Use this for the purpose of bettering your answer. You go on to a house, and the husband and wife had a fight some time back. When you come, when you see as a guest, then they're going to become rationalized, right? They're going to serve you, they're going to talk to you. Is it that you can go to sense that there was something wrong, or there's something wrong in this entire approach?
Sorry, sir, I didn't get the question.
I'm giving you a situation. You go on to go to a house, right? Over tea, coffee, or anything. In that house, the husband and wife had a fight some time back. Okay? When you go there, both of them have been irritated. But they go on to serve you tea, coffee, maybe some cold drinks. They go on to talk to you nicely. Can you sense this out that there's something wrong? Because they have been very logical. But can you sense it out?
Yes,
Right. That means when you go on to try to convince a person on his logic, maybe that you're going to miss out on observation.
Yes.
Maybe he is not able to express himself, possible, because of his language. Maybe he is not so debative. Maybe he doesn't go on to be countering all of your logic immediately there and then. But then he is getting himself thoroughly irritated. And you want to pound him with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 logic. He goes to become defenseless. But he understands that you are trying to prove yourself right. Will you go to win over the person?
Yes, sir. I would prefer to win over the person instead of just sticking to logic.
So rather than being logical, you will try to win over the person or try to win over the situation.
So actually, now I think I can't answer it right now. It has to depend on the situation.
Okay?
What is the, if I just simply say that I would like to win over the person, so that would amount to something very populist. And if I talk in macro view, and
so you will try to be manipulative.
I will try to strike a middle.
You will try to be manipulative. Is it that I am understanding it correctly? There is sometimes you will try to win over the situation. If the situation is not so important, then you don't want to win over the person. And if the person is not significant, you will try to win over the situation.
Sir, I guess it is about being human, being adaptive. It is about being human, responding to situation as per the.
Now, what will be more significant for you? Because right now you talk about that transitioning from electrical engineering to social sciences has made you a bit more human. So, what will be more significant, winning over the person or winning over a situation?
I still say that, sir, I can't make a statement right now. It will depend on both on the person and situation.
So that means you will go to make the best out.
But sir, 7-8 years back, I would have a guy. I was a guy who would go for situation.
Okay.
That I can say.
But now you can go to think of it.
Yes.
So you want to show to us that you have improved.
Yes.
This is what you want to do. Listen, we are asking this question because discussion is your extracurricular activity, right? Let me know the difference between discussion, debate, dialogue, and a conversation.
So, discussion can be the superset. Dialogue is a subset of that.
Make it simple. I don't know anything about it. Make it simple.
All these terms you said, they are a part of discussion. But if you're talking about debate, then debate is something where we already have positions and either we support it or we are against it, for and against.
What is the conclusion of a debate?
Conclusion of a debate, it is a binary conclusion. Either you win or either you lose.
Okay.
And
so what's the conclusion?
That one particular side was logical.
Okay, so you take a stand.
You take a stand.
Okay.
You already have a stand. Actually, you defend a stand in debate. And either you end up winning it or losing it. In discussion, you don't start with a stand. You start with a very open mind. You're open to all ideas, all thoughts, information, everything. And then you try to come up to a conclusion. It may happen that you don't come up with a conclusion. So that is discussion. So dialogue is a conversation between two people.
How is it different from conversation then?
I think sir, dialogue would be a part of it would be a type of conversation.
It will be a type of conversation.
Type of conversation.
Okay, so what we are doing is having a dialogue or a conversation or a discussion.
So this is not a discussion because we don't have a topic in this part.
Okay.
And
It is?
it is a conversation definitely because
It is a conversation.
it is a conversation.
So out of this conversation we are able to make something out of you.
Yes, sir.
Hmm?
Yes, sir.
My last question. You have been in IIT Mumbai.
Sir.
Okay? Hawaii.
Sir.
Okay? Hawaii Lake has not been in good health for some amount of time.
Yes.
Now, as an electrical engineer, what exactly, or an IIT, what exactly is it that you could have done to IIT, to the Hawaii Lake?
Sir, as an engineer, I would have gone for some solution to create more awareness about public lake. Some technological solution. For example, a Facebook page or an app, something like that. Then second thing, sir, as an IIT, we would have mobilized more students. We done that actually when I was an IIT. Mobilized students to clean the Powai lake. And third thing is, sir, I would explore if there are any technical solutions to clean the water. Technically more efficient solution to clean the water. Clean the water or stop the water where it is. For example, you can see this treatment through electrical methods. That can be done. But I have to study more on that.
Okay. Last question. Very simple and very short, brief one. Why should you be taken into civil services?
Because sir, I think I have that passion to work in, at least in rural development. And civil service is the most important platform for somebody to work in that area. And so I think it would be a win-win situation both for the government and me.
Everyone will say so. Every candidate will say so.
I also have the qualities which are needed in the civil service, sir.
Such as?
Sir, leadership. I have leadership skills, sir.
Everyone will say so.
But sir, I have examples to substantiate my commitment to my statement, sir.
Okay, you are a good debater.
I don't-
One?
No, sir, I'm good at discussion, I'm good at listening to people, and I'm good at accommodating myself.
And any reason for which you should not be taken?
Civil servant.
Yes.
Sir, I have learned that civil government services, they need a lot of patience. And I don't think I still have that kind of patience, so I need to learn that, sir.
Sir, you said that rural development you are already working.
Sir,
You are getting a reasonably decent pay.
sir.
Most of the people in the country live in rural areas.
Pardon?
Most of the people in the country, majority of the population live in the rural areas
Sir.
compared to urban areas. So you already have an opportunity to serve the people. Why do you want to come to IAS?
Sir, I already have an opportunity. It is a very good opportunity. I'm also very satisfied. But I want to be in civil services because I have seen that at least Indian administrative services, it is a more potent platform than the platform right now. And second, sir, it would be like you're doing what you like for the next 30 years without having to worry about anything, without having to worry about your bread and butter.
That kind of guarantee you will have here also. You are already in government service. And second thing, how do you think that you will have the liberty or freedom to do anything you want, which you want to do? How do you think that you will have the liberty or the freedom to do or to serve people the way you want to serve for the next 35 years or 30 years, whatever it be the time period? There are so many forces. They may not let you work the way you want to do. Your minister, your chief minister, you must be aware to which the people can make wild allegations against you publicly without any facts to substantiate it. Okay, so let me put a situational question to you. You are a district magistrate of a district, and some people, at the behest of the local MLAs, are trying to encroach upon a government land which has been earmarked for a school or a hospital. They have already encroached it or they are encroaching it. So you send your tehsildar or whosoever is the officer concerned to remove that encroachment with the help of force. when he goes there, these people, they are close to the MLA,
Yes, sir.
so they inform them, the MLA, he comes there. There is a argument between the officer deputed to protect the government property from encroachment and the MLA. In the process, the MLA assaults your officer. You are from Madhya Pradesh.
Sir.
You have heard about some sand mafia cases
Sir, sir. In Haryana districts.
where they have killed the people, police officers or somebody. After the MLA has assaulted a very powerful minister, somebody who is next to the chief minister, very close to the chief minister, he calls you up. And he says, ki, Collector Sahab, please don't take any harsh action. I will sort it out. So don't touch the MLA or don't touch any of the people involved. So I will sort out everything to you. What will you do in this situation?
Sir, I'll speak to the Honorable Minister with due humility that I'll explain my situation, and I will tell him that it is not something personal which I'm willing to do. He was one of my officers and he was being assaulted by somebody. It doesn't matter if he was an MLA or member of parliament or anybody. So he has a right to go to the police, file a complaint. So I'll stand by him. And as far as that land is concerned, so that land is public property. And before me, it is you who's there to protect the public property, because you are the representative of people. So I'll tell him with due humility that, sir, kindly excuse me, I can't budge from position.
So why do you have to approach the minister?
Sir, he
You
called.
will- No, he called you. But the law is sovereign. Again, you are being manipulative. You are trying to keep that part happy, this part happy. Here is a question of somebody breaking a law. It's a question of your credibility. If you don't stand firmly behind your officer,
Yes, sir.
from tomorrow, nobody will listen to you.
Yes, sir.
So are you willing to stand by the law and then tell later on if there is something, then you can say. But the first you will go to the minister or then he will make the chief minister speak to you. There could be consequence that you would be transferred. This could be also a consequence, because if you are not listening to the powerful minister, if you are not listening to somebody close to the chief minister, you would be removed from that place and you would be sent to an insignificant assignment. There are hundreds of such places in the government. So, what would be your stand? Are you willing to take the risk of standing by your officer and face the consequences, whatever it may be? Are you willing to stand by what is right and face the consequences, irrespective of what it may be? Or you try to be manipulative, please, once that side also, this side also? In that won't that reflect your weakness?
Sir, I didn't mean that I'll be manipulative. I was talking about the kind of language I was going to use with the minister if he calls me. Sir, my position would be that I'll stick by the law. What somebody has assaulted an individual, he's supposed to report to the police, he's supposed to file an FIR. I'll do that. That was the first thing. That is the first thing. The second step would be, because he was one of my subordinates, I'm supposed to lead at least the revenue administration. So I also write to the chief minister and the concerned minister and secretary. I'll apprise them with the situation, what has happened. One of my revenue thing is, sir, as far as consequences is concerned, sir, I don't think, sir, transfer is something negative, because when you are in government services, transfer is part and parcel of job. And you, for 30 years, you are going to go through all kind of postings, all kind of, so one should not be very developing any kind of attachment for any kind of particular post. And as far as graver consequences is concerned, sir, I think then law would threaten me as well, sir. So I don't think if I have anything to worry about.
Will you go straight to the chief minister or the minister, or will you apprise your higher officers first? Like you have your divisional commissioner, you will have a divisional commissioner.
So
And you will have you have the chief secretary. So would you like to take them first into confidence and
Yes.
then say, "Ki, this is what I have done, and then I have stood by the law, I have done my duty, and this is what has happened," and they will inform the higher ups, like they will inform the chief minister, or they will inform them if they think that necessary, they will inform the minister.
I would like to.
Otherwise, there was another choice. You could have stood by your officer, had everything done, and then told the minister that probably by the time you called or something like that. If that was not possible, I'm sorry, I cannot do the bidding, because that would have been against the ethics by which I stand.
Sir, I think I would like to qualify my statement. I would first apprise my divisional commissioner, sir. And sir, I think I will apprise my superiors as well about what has happened, because some administrative inquiry is going to happen in that case as well. So everything should be clear to everybody there.
But first thing is you do your duty.
Yes.
And then you apply at the same time, I have done my duty, and this is the factual.
Okay, Vikash.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me about the rural development programs that government is coming for with lots of rural development program. And does it really help the poor people to get benefit of it?
Ma'am, they do help. They do help a lot. However, there are inefficiencies and leakages which are needed to be plugged. For example, I will quote an example of Manrega, MGNREGAs. In my district, we have a lot of PBTG population, Bagras. And just because of Manrega, now even they are talking about they want to have mobile connectivity in their area. So which was completely unheard of 5-7 years back. So I think some RD programs, they are definitely working. Manrega was one example. Second is we have a special scheme like called IAP, Integrated Action Plan. That is a very good scheme where this district committee is given a fund of 30 crores per year, and they are supposed to invest that money in creating infrastructure or other schemes which are going to be of direct benefit for the people. Then, madam, PMGSY, PM Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana. It is also a very good success story, at least in our Madhya Pradesh. That has changed a lot. In fact, our department, Minister of RD, they are also trying to conduct a research on how PMGSY roads have improved the health indices in our state. So that is one thing. Sir, Shiksha Abhiyan, we are seeing that how enrollment is near 100% right now, primary and also primary stages. So ma'am, I think that.
Because this leads to a question
Yes, ma'am.
that I have in mind. And if you talk about Manrega,
Yes, ma'am.
the efficiency of labor is not taken into account, which is the main crux of the development of rural areas. You just quantify the enrollment of the laborers and you give them money, whether they are efficient or not. Does that help the rural area or the development of the rural areas?
No, ma'am, I don't support any kind of freeways. I mean, one should get paid for what he is working for.
It's not a question of you. It's about the policy. I asked you those policies which will help the rural people as the rural development.
But I mean, government also it's not like that we have very technical estimates. When labor is given mandates worth of payment, he is also given a sort of work. We call it khanti. So you have to dig up this much of mitti in these many days. So it is not like we have left it. We are
But
also.
what reports we get, is it an efficient labor that we are getting?
Ma'am, I don't think our laborers are being efficient enough, but that is primarily because we are failing in effective implementation of the scheme.
Okay. You talked about service Shiksha Abhiyan.
Yes, ma'am.
Are the people getting the education that they require? Or only the enrollment number, the quantification is sufficient to develop the people?
Ma'am, no, we are not getting the quality education. ASAR reports are there which are saying that students of 5 standards have learning capacity of 2nd standard. But I think we are at fault in that. Because whenever it comes to education, we only talk about hard facts. In fact, I was sitting in one of the VCs, video conferencing in education. What we were discussing how many cycles we have distributed, if the caste certificates of students are done or not, if the complete mapping for scholarship has been done or not. Nobody discusses what is the status of syllabus.
Then what's the use of this service Shiksha Abhiyan and all? When I am talking about rural development, that development doesn't come. Only you give the number of improvements and you go on pouring in money for these developmental programs. Development is not there.
But ma'am, these things comes in steps. First you send a school, you build a school, then you send a teacher. Then the third thing is you're going to focus on the quality that teacher is actually teaching in the school. And next thing would be that syllabus. So
Okay. In that case, let us focus to the teachers.
yes,
Are the teachers who are involved in these programs capable enough to educate these people, these children?
I think they are capable enough, but they are not motivated enough.
How come? The salaries of teachers are very good, very hefty amount, very good payments. Then why they are not motivated?
I think first reason is they are not motivated because they are not the people who actually wanted to be teachers. They just wanted government jobs and they ended up being a teacher. So that is the first problem, I guess, in their motivation. Second is, ma'am, salary is not the only thing which can keep a teacher motivated.
Then
And
what should government give more to these teachers? Is it not that they are not efficient enough or the type of recruitment level is not so perfect that we engage good teachers for these purposes?
ma'am, our recruitment
Or the
process.
type of contract teachers that are more prevalent nowadays and they go on bribing the government with strikes and all so that they get more and more out of it rather than giving good quality education.
And contract teachers are a different thing. I don't think it has to do with contract teachers because private school teachers, they are also working on contract but they are performing. So I don't think if somebody is a contract teacher or permanent teacher, that should affect the entire learning process that greatly. It matters, but I don't think the extent is that high. First thing is, ma'am, what I have seen in government, what happens, whatever is being prioritized by the top leadership, those things happen. And I don't think if we still have learning as a priority. When it comes to education, we think it is only about constructing schools and recruiting teachers and getting enrollment numbers. Moment the chief minister makes it a flagship program that we are going to improve the learning levels in 5 years, I'm very sure these many teachers will have different results. The thing is, it is the top leadership who is not paying attention to that, and they are just government people who are responding to the.
That means motivation of teacher is not important. Motivation of the implementing government is more important.
Teachers' motivation, it would always be important because his motivation is also a function of things. If I'm the one who's interested in teaching the child, but nobody is interested in the result of the child or the learning levels of the child, then I'll be demotivated. If I see that what I'm doing is important for the government as well, for the society as well, then I'll start doing that.
Okay, that's it.
Okay, we're going to call you after some time for feedback. Vikash?
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
First
That's right.
I mean, that's not the thing.
No.
Content maybe कुछ थोड़ा सा कर लीजिए start तो वो the things to do.
How was your interview?
Sir, I guess I fumbled a lot.
Yes, that's right. Actually, if I go to see from a very objective perspective, it went on to bring about some of these contradictions of your personality which you're trying to overcome to us, right? The one part that you talked about, that is, are you manipulative, right? Now that is where you could have picked up one line rather than picking up both of them to begin with. And with respect to sir's situation question also, you went on to strengthen the part that you are trying to be manipulative. So you were very honest initially when you said that. You used to apply your mind a lot in some situation, and then you went on to say that you have changed. The fact is that you haven't completely changed.
Binary to
I'm changing a lot here. I'm not
but it shouldn't be extreme, no? When
Okay.
law is there, law is being violated, your officer is being assaulted, where is the question of not talking with humility or otherwise?
No, sir.
With the minister, वो तो बात की चीज है. फिर अपना you don't go directly to the chief minister or to the minister. You apply the officer, your boss, because you are already in the government. You know the hierarchy. अभी भी जो है सो आप अपने कलेक्टर के ऊपर तो कमिश्नर के यहाँ नहीं जाएंगे ना. The district magistrate, you oversees all the program. But your problems are not such which you cannot overcome. Your problems are such which you can overcome.
Actually, the best, yes, I agree with you. The best part about you is that you are trying really hard to overcome that problem. That is, you have been under the effect of some degree of maybe there is antipathy towards people. You know, you look ठीक नहीं है. मतलब you should try to show that.
That's a fact, sir.
आपको पूरी दुनिया ही कातिल नजर आती थी. अब थोड़ा बहुत आपने देखा कि नहीं, कुछ लोग ठीक भी हो सकते हैं. ठीक है, तो आप इस माइंडसेट से आप आगे चले हैं. ठीक. अच्छा, यह माइंडसेट कभी कभी झलक, sometimes you are not able to hide it, camouflage that part. Maybe that the board is not sensitive enough. That's a possibility. But supposing that there is someone like me in that place, you will be able to observe that part. Okay. Now there is no way that we can go to say that you can go to completely forget your past and that you are not good in that part. Essentially, everyone has its own life experience. You have your own life experience. You had your perception. But for a moment, for the sake of getting a job for 35 years, forget about every type of notion you had about the society. Right? Imagine, just go to assume that everything is fine and that everyone is good towards you. Just assume it. Now, once you are able to do it so, a lot of things will be taken care of. I think one simple suggestion, we have a lot of merits, demerits written for you, but I think the one simplest suggestion that I'm going to give it to you is be simple. And why? How? That is, whatever the world has been to you, whichever that you have seen the world, right? Whatever your notions about the world, whatever your notions about the people, reset everything. Just for the sake of your interview and getting a job and getting into a job that is going to provide you 35 years of a secure career. And you know how valuable this is, right? Just for the sake of it. Okay, otherwise, you do go into there are some glimpses of some degree of an arrogance when you go to speak, sometimes, right? You're trying to overcome that, I know that. The board, UPSC board will not go to ask you these questions also. And just think of it. Sometimes you may go on to show signs of being opportunistic. Two questions. One that I ask you, that is, are you going to win people or are you going to win a situation? You said, no, jaisa aayega waisa sochenge. That's opportunistic, right? Okay, with respect to search question also, you went to show. We both understood that there is some amount of a sign of these things here. And ultimately we are trapped in that. Make it clear who you want to do. You can't go to manipulate the board.
No, sir, I'm opportunistic.
No,
So he's
but
like,
you don't have to.
honesty is not the best policy. What we did know. Honesty is the best policy. It's universally accepted in this medium. So how can you compromise? Something like that.
So you don't have to, because the moment you're going to show that you're opportunistic in that way, maybe you're going to try to manipulate the government in a variety of ways for your own means. Possible?
But sir, assume अगर मैंने आंसर दिया होता कि I would have gone for people.
I let you know. Say that is, I would have been convincing and I would have won the person as well. So there were two approaches that I would have taken. Try to win the person and as well as try to find out if there is something wrong in my logic. I had to win the person, not only through logic. Logic would have been only a part of it. The person is always going to be more important. And that would have been tuned with Mr. Modi's idea of winning the people, winning the people, winning the people. Get it?
Yes, sir.
So that's always going to be. And for a time being, think that you are not going to be opportunistic. You are going to get the job. What is more opportunism than that? Living your attitude of opportunity to get the widest or the biggest opportunity of your life will not be better for you. So just try to bring about this type of change. You will be a completely different person, right? You are sincere, you are a learner, you are honest. These are the three things. But then sometimes you do want to show a glimpse that you can be short-tempered, which you have been sometime, correct?
Yes, sir. I
Right.
still am. That's why I said patience. I did not want to use the word short.
So you have to take care of that part as well. That is that you start coming out, your short-temperedness that have been before, you start coming out. Right. What the board will then want to do is that irritate you. Okay. We have not been able to. But maybe next time, I'll going to make it sure that any one of the members who are going to be there, I'll going to suggest irritate him to the maximum possible extent. I'll say कि board वगैरह तो बिल्कुल खराब लोग ही हैं यहाँ पर. But this is what we are here for, right? We are here to needle you in every possible manner that you come out of your own, right? What comes out is your own. You are not able to hide it from us. That's the strength of the interview board. That is to bring out what you are, not that you are able to hide it. Of course, certain other minor aspects, cosmetic things, that you are a bit casual in your approach, appearance. Can you go to take care of your hair?
So अभी मैंने कराए थे, छोटे कराए थे, बड़े हो जाएंगे.
नहीं, इतने छोटे नहीं कराने हैं और छोटे कराने हैं. इससे क्या हो रहा है ना?
नहीं, कम होना चाहिए.
You look a bit rebellious. ठीक? Are you getting me?
छोटा, हाँ बिल्कुल. और नहीं, जब whenever you go for the interview, at least you should comb your hair. ये भी casual type का है. सामने
वो ज़्यादा छोटा होने से
कुछ ज़्यादा
अच्छा,
छोटा.
ज़्यादा
थोड़ा बढ़
छोटा.
जाएंगे तो ठीक हो जाएगा.
कब है interview
लेकिन
कब है?
ये तेल लगा के कुछ लगा के
हाँ.
हो जाएगा, बढ़ जाएगा.
बिल्कुल लगा के जाए.
नहीं.
कोई पता नहीं चलेगा ना, कुछ ऐसा लगा जो
Okay.
नहीं पता
ये
चलता.
साइज ठीक हो जाएगी, ऐसे कम हो जाएगा.
कौन होके
मैंने उतना ध्यान भी नहीं दिया, sir. I'll take care of this.
I say it because it goes on to give a rebellious look.
Yes, yes.
Now, and that is strengthened by maybe some of your answers. Why to give it a look of that type? Second is, I don't know whether you can go to experiment with a mustache or not. If a slight amount of a change in happiness goes on to give you 35 years of a job, it's so good, such a good
I
bargain.
have no issues.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Other is, connect with the board. When you're going to talk, try to talk to everyone, not to one person.
एक तरफ फोकस मत करो. Third, मैं focus on that person, but keep connecting to the other members.
Take a bit of a pause. You are intelligent. Your intelligence comes out in the form that you immediately start answering the question. Right? Take a bit of a pause. Right? You understand what the question is. You have to be a bit patient. Anyone around you who is a very good critic?
Good critique.
Good critic of your friend or anyone. Maybe any one of them. Boyfriend, girlfriend, any of them.
I can ask them to be a good critic.
Sorry?
None of my friends actually, we don't criticize each other.
Critic means that is ask him.
Ah, yes, that's all. I can ask.
I'm going to give him a right till 20 days. You see, you have to be my critic. Right? If you're going to be my good critic, I'm going to give you a party. Right? So maybe because they are in a fear of losing you, that's why they don't want to become a bit critical of you. But then give them this right, empower them and start following them. What we mean to say is that we want to make you more human, right? More human. That is because you have some degree of a complaint from the society. It looks like you have both complaint in society, sir. Is it correct?
Yes.
कोई बात नहीं. This is what our job is. Being a psychologist, this is all that I can go to say to you. Yes, sir?
From my side, I have a suggestion.
Yes, ma'am.
That when you are saying that rural development is your foray, that means you have to be very clear about all the programs that are given by the government, its pros as well as its cons. Because if you don't understand what are the cons of if rural area, when I asked you, I prompted you to get some of the areas where really nothing is being done, but then these are the benefit also. So you have to say both ways.
Okay.
You have to give a balance. So go through the programs. Manrega is a good program and it is a bad also. It's not developing efficiency. So if the people are getting easy money, they are not ready to work. So you have to be balanced in both ways.
I appeared over positive.
And you know why? Because there is some type of feeling that you are able to express through this program. It's been very positive. It's not been so.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do actually.
Yes, yes. And
You
that's
be
not
head of the administration, so you must know at the grassroots level what are the problems, and people who are not aware, they should be made aware before any program is implemented.
You don't have to show biasness. That's why I said, think everything is okay. Right? हम लोग अच्छे हैं, बोर्ड अच्छा है, देश अच्छा है, लोग अच्छे हैं, आप अच्छे हैं, सब कुछ अच्छा है. ठीक? Once you go to bring about a slight kind of a change in your attitude, you will be a different person altogether. You may have given you 55 to 60%, but you're likely to get 70% because you're very intelligent, very talented. Sign it and give it to us.
Good command over language. Discussion में
The best part is that you are connected to the grassroots.
Yeah.
Grassroots.
But she asked you, कि only when the leader is giving targets, people won't be motivated to do their own job. In case of teachers, so there you faltered. So they kept them. So you have to just.
Teachers are not motivated. It's not that teachers.
They
get so easy money. That's why their efficiency doesn't matter to them. Otherwise, a complaint I got from my manager brother that who will come to bank when teachers are getting so hefty payment. See the difference? So if teachers are getting hefty payment, they are not bothered because there is no accountability. You have to add these terms in your answers. That is why they are.
I want to put something more to it, human. That is, teaching is something that must come from heart. We have not been able to expose these teachers to some type of an attitudinal test by way of which we are going to know whether they are teaching mechanically or it is that teaching is coming
It's
from
not
them.
a job. It has to come from the heart. It is a passion.
Sir, I just intervened here. Is it a job?
That's what I wanted to say.
What exactly is it? It is service. Civil service is a job, very good service.
Service.
Is it service?
Yes.
No, that is it. And service also always comes from the heart. जब मन करता है तभी आते हैं.
कुछ 70,000 तो मिल ही रहा है. सब कुछ सब है ही गवर्नमेंट में ही सिक्योरिटी है. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Also, I am sure the moment you go to implement these suggestions, you are bound to be in civil service. And we have never been wrong.
Okay.